The cybersecurity landscape never sleeps. Every minute, thousands of new threats emerge. Millions of attacks are launched and billions of dollars are at stake. But in this constant stream of cyber incidents and updates, what should you actually care about? Well, that's why we're here. This is the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I'm Dr. Gerald Auger, and these are the top cyber headlines. Let's go. All right, good morning, everybody. I got to get that Chiron crossing across the bottom, but I did not play the normal intro stinger because I watched it on replay yesterday, and it's actually quite loud compared to the rest of the audio of the show. So just really quick, if anyone has an opinion about that, this thing right here, right, that seems a bit loud, and I don't know how to turn it down quite yet, so I'm working on that. But guys, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is May 5th, 2025. This is episode, oh my gosh, what episode is this? Usually I see it when I do the Chiron. Episode 868 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Phil Stafford, Elliot Matisse, the whole San Francisco contingent, which might not be up yet because it is left coast. Poner Joe, who's very east. Yeah, thank you, Poner Joe. I will be changing that video. I won't be playing it until we get that sorted out. Mara Levy says it's fine. It wakes her up. Good stuff. Roswell UK. Roswell UK, please, we've got to get connected. I want to get you that Community Member of the Week prize. Just I need you to select which one you want. Good morning, Space Tacos. All right, guys, we're all going to be sharing the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? Also, hold on one second. I'm trying to see what's up here. I think it's episode 868. What's it say on the, what's it say on here? 870. Jesus, Jerry. Get your stuff together. Hold on. I missed a couple days. I get my head all ramrodded up, and hold on, let me change this. Episode 870, so update your screenshots if you would. Guys, we are going to be shredding the top cyber news stories of the day. I'll be giving my opinion, my analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction, ultimately for your business stakeholders, right? Because that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to add value. We're trying to reduce risk. We're trying to, basically be on the wall, staying vigilant, staying consistent, and the way we do that is through threat intelligence, information sharing and analysis, and also leveling ourselves up. Also, let's not be mistaken, guys. The job market's a little tough right now. Some of us, even some of our Simply Cyber community members, are receiving reductions in workforce, layoffs, not getting the jobs, canceling of open recs, these type of things. So another, kind of key initiative of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is to enable you to be empowered and to be the CEO of you and to be able to capture opportunities faster, quicker, with more success rates. Like, Phil Stafford, basically hunting down people and moving the needle forward on job securement. So I love it. Now, if you are not actually active in industry, right, like you're kind of new or you're looking to break in, you might be like, wait a minute, this show's for practitioners only. I'll see myself out. Well, hold on there, buddy. Before you go through the door, let me tell you, this show is absolutely perfect for people looking to break into the industry as well. You're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? The Daily Cyber Threat Brief, not only is it a great answer for what we're doing here, but it's actually a great answer because people are beginning to know it. You may actually be in an interview where they're familiar with it, which, doesn't get you the job or anything, but it further lends credence to you are putting in the time, you are taking the initiative. And honestly, I go through a bunch of different stories every single day. If I have a hot take, if I have a perspective that you find interesting, steal it. You have my, whatever. I issue a blanket license. Take my takes and use them in job interviews if you want. Basically show that you go beyond the headlines, right? So it's all about good times here. Now, I do want you to know, for these stories that we're about to rip through, I didn't research or prep for any of them.
Ain't nobody got time for this.
That's right. Ain't nobody got time for that. So you'll be getting my honest hot takes as it comes in. Hey, Funky Monk, getting up, I guess staying up late, Funky Monk. Carrie saying there are jobs out there. Thank you, Carrie. It is a great community. Thank you, David Robbins. As always, good to see it. Yep. All right, guys. So before we get into it, I hope you all enjoyed May the 4th for all you Star Wars fans out there. It's a big day, May the 4th. For all you Corona, lime drinking, no shoes, Kenny Chesney fans, Cinco de Mayo is here. I think it's a holiday created by the Miami bar scene, but it is here. So if you're tipping back a Dos Equis or a Corona or whatever, Red Stripe, happy Cinco de Mayo to you. All right, let's do the ad reads really quick, and then when we come back, I'm going to tell you how this show can absolutely destroy your annual CPE requirements. All that and more. I'll be chatting with you in chat in a hot minute. Guys, so many updates to provide you. It's kind of bananas. All right, let's do this, and then I'll be right back. Holla! I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. That's right. Also want to tell you about Barricade Cyber's 4-5 365 solution, guys. Is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? Well, is it? Is it? With business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk. 4-5 365 from Barricade Cyber is your defensive shield. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, yes sir, GRC, and safeguard your sensitive data. They've helped countless organizations strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world vulnerabilities. I can tell you personally, I've had Eric come into my business, not this one right now, but a couple businesses ago, and he came in and set up all the things, right? All the best practices, conditional access, turned off some stuff. It really is a great service. It wasn't called 4-5 365. It was just called Eric Fixing Things, but they've bundled it up and leveled it up. It's great. Don't wait until after a breach to take action. Visit 4defy365.com today to learn how you can secure your Microsoft 365 environment against tomorrow's threats. Yes, sir. All right, let's quickly. I got to do the delete me read, but we're gonna. What I do want to do is tell you really quickly about the CPEs, guys. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth half a CPE. So all you got to do is say, what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, grab a screenshot, file it away, right? See how it says 870 half a CPE in the scrolling Chiron? Grab that. Grab where it says May 5th, top cyber news now, like on the YouTube thing. Get all of that. If you can, say hello in chat, like Marcus Kyler, Stones fan, Mondo Avila, Toasty Pops, as always, the Kansas City contingent emerging from the winter. DP, Code Brew, right there, Code Brew, nailed it. Team SC 5525. File it away, and once a year, count the number of screenshots, divide by 2. You only need the screenshots if you get audited. And, again, you're not compromising your integrity. If you get audited, the reason you collect evidence is to supply it in the event you need it. But if you don't need it, you're fine. But you should still do it as a best practice, okay? So get your CPEs here. I also want everyone to know if today is your... Yes, we can do that, Chuck Sapp. I want everyone to know if today's your first episode, this is a pretty close to spot on normal episode, right? Episode 870. So drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We got a special sound effect, a special emote, all the things. Hey, Bonnie Charles, good to see you. And we're going to get you now. Really quick, I do want to do the get the show started. We have so much going on this week. It's kind of bananas. Okay, so I'm going to do the delete me read. I'm going to tease two things that I'm really excited about this week. One-off things that don't have, they're just not a normal thing. And then we're going to, we're going to get into the news, okay? So if you're like, hurry up, Jerry. Believe me, just believe me. This is going to be worth it, all right? Right, really quickly, get this up. All right, guys. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone, including you, including me, vulnerable. It's easier than ever to find personal information about people online. Ask anybody. Ask Dennis Keefe, the OSINT master, Michelle Khan, OSINT ninja. Having your address, phone number, and family members' names hanging out on the internet can have real-life actual consequences in the real world and makes everyone vulnerable. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me because I care about my children. I care about my wife, right? We've built a life, and, I'm a bit of I'm in the public zeitgeist quite a bit, right? My face is all over social media. So, that's fun, and it allows me to help people and stuff, but my kids didn't sign up for that. They didn't have a choice. So, controlling my privacy is important because it protects my children and my family. Take control of your data, keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for all y'all listeners. Get 20% off Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Okay, real quick, we're just about to get into it, but let me tell you this really quickly. Oh my gosh, so insane. Okay, number one, this Thursday on Simply Cyber Firesides, we don't have a Firesides. I am running, what's up, you? A special webinar, one-off webinar, right? People talk about speaking at conferences. Luke Canfield announced in chat that he got picked up for Wild West Hackin' Fest talk, right? Awesome. I've learned that CTFs are intimidating to people, and speaking and submitting and going through the whole conference process is intimidating to people. You know what? Enough of that crap.
Catch me outside. How about that?
We're going to take CFPs out back to the woodshed on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. I am going to run a webinar or a lesson learned or whatever, a lecture, and I'm going to show you literally what you need to do and how you can get pumped up to submit for a CFP, which means speaking at a conference. Not just teach you how to do that. I'm going to show you how you can have a great success at getting accepted at speaking at a conference. And if that gets you nervous, well, then all I would say is just submit. Even if you get accepted, you can decline speaking. You could say, oh, I have a conflict or whatever. We're going to go through it. I'm going to show you an entire process. I'm going to go from ideation to submission for a Antisyphon Blue Team Summit event. So if you want, you can follow along with me and submit your first CFP this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. So this is going to be an active, interactive experience. You will be able to do all the things. It's basically like a class I'm going to run this Thursday. Kind of very, very unusual. I don't typically do these type of live interactive type things, but it came to my attention that people are intimidated by CFPs, and I speak all the time, right? So to me, I just take it for granted as like the process. But I want everyone to be super pumped. So Steve Young, be there. Larnizzo91, first time live. Welcome to the party, pal. All right. And then finally, I know it's a few minutes. I'm going to get someone in comments who says, "Oh, that news doesn't start until 8:15." Yes, we just got a lot to cover, right? The other thing I want to share with you is and this one's spicy. Literally spicy. This Friday at 2 p.m., again, a completely unusual time slot. I'm going to have a camera crew set up in my kitchen. Wade Wells, Josh Mason, and myself are literally going to be doing a Hot Ones episode. This isn't a joke. This isn't some ripoff. This is literally, we all three of us have these things, and we're going to get unbelievably spicy, and probably some silly shenanigans are going to go down. I'm not a big spice eater, so you're going to watch me eat nuggies covered in million Scovilles, and we'll see what happens next. So anyways, all that and more. But now it's time to get to the news, everybody. So do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISA series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, May 5th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Microsoft ends authenticator password autofill in favor of Edge. Password storage and autofill features in the Microsoft Authenticator app will start deprecation in July and will be completed by August. The goal is to streamline autofill support and consolidate credentials management under Microsoft Edge. As such, users will have up to August 1st of this year to export their information from Authenticator or risk losing it. The autofill feature was added to mobile Authenticator apps in December 2020, allowing users to fill their credentials saved in Authenticator on sign-in forms automatically.
All right. I didn't know about this. I use a password vault manager tool, and that does autofill for me. Microsoft Authenticator, I've always been annoyed by Microsoft Authenticator, just to get personal for a minute. Always been annoyed by Microsoft Authenticator because I felt like they were trying to like shoehorn a like a prescriptive authenticator, right? So I use, whatever authenticator I use. I don't want to, for OPSEC purposes, say it, but I use the same multi-factor authenticator app for like 900 different platforms. And then, my Office 365, I've got to use this Microsoft Authenticator. Anyways, this is just something to be aware of. So if you're anyone in your organization or you're officially using Microsoft Authenticator and the autofill feature is something people have, you might want to make them aware that this is coming. This is more of a nice to have than it is like going to break production. I will say there is something to be gleaned here from a GRC perspective. This is more around IT, but it is a good one. They are making us aware months in advance, right? August 2025 is when it's going to happen. That's 3 months away. You can begin to educate your workforce that the change is coming. You can have some workshops or set up tables in a break room, or set up, like if you're like a college campus, set up some tables at the student union or whatever. Hey, everybody, from these days, this time to this time, IT staff will be there ready to help you transition or convert from Authenticator to Edge if you want. Now, this particular story, like what I said is like, basically no one's going to do anything, and then they're going to come to work on Monday and August 2025 and be like, oh, it doesn't work anymore. And then you'll probably get some help desk tickets. I would recommend sending this to the support desk supervisor or help desk and just say, hey, I know this is months away, but you might get some calls in August regarding this. This is what's going on, right? So that it's, first of all, that builds goodwill towards support desk because you're not calling them asking for something. You're providing them some service to help their jobs and their life be easier. And then, even if and just from friggin' scars, from my life experiences here, if you say your organization did run Authenticator autofill and it was like critical, right? And everybody in the business was going to transition to Edge. And this can be applied to anything. Like you guys are using, just rolling out multi-factor, or all, starting whatever day you guys are going to cut over from Cerner to Epic, right? Two major EMR apps. Like you're gonna have some material transition at your organization, and you have to get workforce ready and educated. You're gonna deploy some type of new timekeeping system. You're rolling out ServiceNow. It doesn't matter, okay? I'm just telling you this. You should have a roadmap leading up to launch. It should not be a surprise to everybody when you do transition over. You want to you want to reduce as much friction during that cutover as you possibly can. Now, having lived long enough to have gray in my beard, and this might even elicit some PTSD from people in chat right now, you could rent a billboard on the 405 that says change coming on, August 2025. You could put it in every single email, right? You could change the name of your organization from, I don't know, like toysrus.com to Toys R Us - changes are coming in August 2025.com, right? You could do all these things and still 15 to 20% of your workforce will show up on the day of the conversion and have no friggin' clue what's going on. You cannot educate and bring awareness to your 100% of your workforce. You can have the CEO announce it at every quarterly all hands meeting leading up to the friggin' conversion. You'll still get people who call you and say, "Oh, where's the app? I came into work today. I can't do work. Where's the thing?" And it's like, bro, like, you're killing me. So the PTSD is real. And I just want you to be emotionally prepared to know that even though you've done all the things right, you're still going to get about 20% of people who claim, "Oh, I didn't know this was coming."
StealC, malware enhanced with stealth upgrades and data theft. According to a new report from Zscaler, the people behind StealC, that is STEAL, capital C, a well-known and much-used information stealer and malware downloader, have released a new and improved version. StealC first appeared on the dark web in early 2023 and sold access for $200 a month. Improvements made in 2024 included a bypassing mechanism for Chrome's app-bound encryption cookie theft defenses, allowing the regeneration of expired cookies for hijacking Google accounts. Among the improvements in the version 2.2.4 this year are added Telegram bot support for real-time alerts to operators and added capability to screenshot the victim's desktop with multi-monitor support. White House proposes...
All right. Let's go. So yeah, dude, $200 a month is, dude, if you think about business and yeah, anyone can hang a shingle and say, "I'm in business now," and that costs $0. In reality, like, doing business, there is a certain amount of investment required. Sometimes it's capital startup costs because you need to buy like an oven to bake bread. Sometimes it's, investing a little bit so you can get malware, feature-rich malware, and all you got to do is make more than $200 a month off your victims, and pays for itself, right? Basic business economics. Okay. So this malware info stealer thing called StealC, which I've never heard of before, is out there, and much like other legitimate malware, like when I say legit, I mean like effective, robust, resilient, not brittle. They're releasing updates, dude. I'm telling you, like, you need, not you, but in general, anything that's as a service, ransomware as a service, malware as a service, phishing as a service, you gotta like wrap your head around the fact that yes, they're criminals, and yes, they're doing bad. But it is just, again, I'm not saying this is okay at all, but like, wrap your head around it. It's a business. They have customers, which are also criminals. They have a product, which is in a market that's competing with other products that do similar things, other phishing as a service, other ransomware as a service. So they need to stand out in market and attract more customers. And the way they do this is through basically soliciting feedback from their customers, these criminals, about what features they want. If you work for a tech company or a SaaS products provider, you know full well what I'm talking about. Like, your power users and getting insights from them and querying them and giving them free merch, right? Someone running around with like a flaming donkey shirt, like, ransomware affiliate, oh my God, ransomware affiliate champ Q1 2025, like getting one of those shirts out. I'm being playful and facetious, but my point is you should think about these platforms as just businesses. And to me, like the whole reason I say that is because when I see this, have released their second major version, guys, people who are hacks, people who are doing this like frivolously, people who aren't real, or like, making it serious, they don't release second major version upgrades. They don't do sprint cycles. They don't work on these things. This to me is a super heavy indicator that not only is this effective, but they're making money and they have enough feedback from their customer base to pick and choose what features they want to include. Now remember, it's just software. So just like real businesses like you and I, this software could introduce bugs, which means law enforcement could exploit. Yeah, so Ray W699 says taking recurring payments does create a footprint. It does. And I don't know how the back end of these criminal businesses operate. I'm sure it uses cryptocurrency or something like that. But what I would advise, I don't want to be a victim of this. You don't want to be a victim of this. So how do we detect this thing? And you can, here, I'll drop a link to the story. You can read it. It does go into great detail on features that it does do in its second major version. Honestly, I hate to sound like such a cynical prick, but this almost reads like a press release, right? Like StealC releases second major version, press release. You ever see companies do press releases where they like basically pay to get in the news? Like, look at this. Oh, look at the new RC4 encryption. Oh, we got enhanced support for executables and MSI packages. Click here now for 20% off, right? All right. What I'm more interested in is how is this friggin' thing detected and stopped? All right. So we've got an infographic here that's a little bit too much for my screen. I will say this infographic, your machine's already compromised. The start of the infographic doesn't actually have the kill chain of getting detonated on your box. It's actually you're already compromised. The phone's already coming from inside the house. Nice. Sunshine 24/7 took the chance to gain superpowers and will be GRC plus logging queen. Hell yeah. Let's go. Sunshine was in the RSA meetup. High fives all around, Sunshine. Congratulations. I'm super pumped for you. So anyways, I'm still curious, like, what are the IOCs on this thing? We don't have IOCs. Okay. So this is interesting. Be mindful of the StealC. If you want to see how it works, you can go here. The next thing I would do is wanting to know the IOCs of this thing. There's a couple places you can go. Do not ever mess with, touch, play with, detonate malware unless you know what you're doing. There's a couple places you can go. I like Malware Bazaar. I think VX Underground has malware as well. I just brought them up. Yeah, but Malware Bazaar is right here. You might be able to actually pull a oh my, I don't have time for this.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Anyways, Malware Bazaar allows you to security researchers to share malware with each other. Again, be very careful handling malware. But my point is, you could open it up. You could detonate it in a sandbox. Any.run is actually my favorite. Like, who doesn't have a favorite sandbox? Am I right? But I love any.run. You can detonate it in here, and then basically look at the IOCs directly. So if you're looking to get the legit IOCs, this is how I would do it. Since this story is lacking and doesn't have them, you can also see There's public repos. So I wonder if I can find one. There's no analysis for StealC, unfortunately. But just to pick like a random one, Emotet here. This is a couple years old. Emotet's been dormant for some time. But on any.run, again, this isn't a paid advertisement or something. It's the tool I like to use. You can see any.run. You can detonate it, and then you can see right here. It runs Excel, and then the Excel runs a command.exe with a HTTP and an explicit IP address. This is really cool. Any.run.
Cutting $491 million from CISA budget. The President's fiscal 2026 budget proposal was described in a summary released Friday. The dollar amount represents a nearly 17% reduction to the agency's almost $3 billion per year budget. The administration did not release details about what areas or services were to be cut. Instead, it stated that, quote, the budget refocuses CISA on its core mission, federal network defense and enhancing the security and resilience of critical infrastructure, end quote, targeting a reduction of what it describes as so-called disinformation and misinformation programs and offices and duplicative programs at state and federal level.
All right. So, okay, here we go. This is a proposal, right? Which doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like every big government organization, there is some fat, I guess, to cut. Again, I know Doge took that to a new level, but every single agency gets a budget every year, right? CISA is under the Department of Homeland Security. So the Department of Homeland Security, I believe, gets budget, and then they kind of dole it out. Dude, we're talking ridiculous numbers, billions of dollars and stuff like that. So slashing $491 million from the budget, you're going to have to make some tough choices there. All right, Roswell, UK, dropping hot takes in chat. Very nice, Roswell, UK. Hold on, what did James Harrold do? I'm always up here, working, and I miss all the community updates. What's James Harrold doing? Someone share with me James Harrold's wins. I want to know. Okay. So 17% reduction in workforce. All right, here's the deal. For all of us, if you have some type of mission critical process in your cybersecurity workflows that depends on CISA, that's the only place you get threat intelligence from, or you're constantly relying on the known exploited vulnerability catalog, you may want to consider getting some contingency plans in place, right? That's it. Now, what's the lesson learned here? Guys, two things. Oh, cool. Security Plus. Thanks, Poner Joe. Winning. Way to go, James Harrold. Congratulations on the Security Plus win. Nailing it. All right, dude, here's the lesson, okay? Trump cuts or suggests this cuts. Here's the real lesson for everybody. Dude, it is not uncommon, okay, especially when you get new leadership at your business. But right now, it's not uncommon. You could have the same leadership. Look at the market, okay? And this isn't even political hot takes. The introductions of tariffs and what that is as expected, is going to increase stuff. I saw, automobiles, the new tariffs are taking effective today. So the ones on the lot aren't going to change price because they were here pre-tariff, but things are going to get more expensive, right? When things are more expensive, businesses that are consuming, their expenses are going to go up, which means their profit margins are going to go down. Some businesses, Dane Riley got the CEH. Congratulations, Dane Riley. So again, just think simple business economics, guys. If you have some type of profit margin that you're trying to get out of business, there's two things. There's revenue coming in, and then there's expenses going out. And if you make more revenue than you do expenses, then you make profit. If you make less money than what it costs to run the business, first of all, that sucks. Second of all, that's not good. So you have to lower your expenses, right? This is lowering expenses. What I'm getting at is multiple times I have been in positions where they come to you and say, hey, I need you to cut 10% of your budget. Just that's it. We're asking everybody to cut 10% of their budget. And the reason people say cut your budget is one of three things. Either one, they're not making enough money and they're having cash issues. Number two, they're greedy and they want a higher profit margin for whatever reason. Number three, they're reallocating your budget somewhere else, right? So, oh, hey, like we're getting super hot and heavy on AI and we need to fund the AI group. So we're taking 8% of everybody's budget and giving it to this new group. You can't treat your budget like your own personal pocketbook. Like you're in a business, CFOs, like this is more for like CISOs and senior level people, this lesson learned, but just, you're got to be ready. And honestly, the final thing I'll tell you, and this sucks, I hate to be the person to bring this news to you. The easiest way, the most brain dead way of cutting budget is to eliminate staff. It's not right. It's not good. It's not okay. But like staff, labor is usually the biggest line item of expenses, people's compensation. So if they say cut 8% of your budget, say your budget, let's just play this game for a second. Say your budget's $1 million and they say, Jerry, you need to cut 10% of your budget. And Bob is standing next to me and Bob's fully loaded rate, meaning salary plus benefits plus all these things, is $100,000. Instead of me breaking out a freaking slide ruler and an abacus and trying to make $1 out of 15 cents and call my vendors and try to, delay payments or, extend it. Hey, if I sign 2 more years, can we lower our payments so I can get this budget down? No, it's just easier to be like, Bob hasn't even really been performing that great. Anyways, Bob, you're fired. Sorry, we got budget cuts, belt tightening going on. Again, it's not right, but I'm just saying it's an easy button. So anyways, budget cuts. This is kind of, I know that this might seem targeted and political, but it's not. Honestly, especially with a more conservative administration in place, usually conservative administrations are much more belt tightening with the budget versus a more liberal administration, which is typically more, trying to get more programs in place, right? Philosophically, they both have their pros and cons.
Ransomware attacks on food and agriculture industry have increased this year. Speaking at RSA, Jonathan Braley, director of the Food and Agriculture Information Sharing and Analysis Center, known as Food and Ag ISAC, said that paired with the increase in ransomware attacks is the fact that many of these attacks go unreported, preventing visibility into the full scope of the problem. The increase in attacks seems to stem from activities by the Clop ransomware gang, specifically its exploitation of MoveIt, Go Anywhere and Accellion, as well as activity from the groups Ransom Hub and Akira. The industry saw 84 attacks from January to March, more than double the numbers seen in the first quarter of 2024. A report from Food and Ag ISAC says that industries in food, agriculture, and manufacturing typically face ransomware attacks because they tend to have more legacy equipment and industrial control systems, making them easier targets.
All right, so first off, listen, I got to tell you, honestly, as a side note, anytime I say first off, immediately Tupac gets in my head. It's like, first off, your crew and the click you claim, west side till we die when I spit that game. Like, I can't say the word first off and not immediately drop into that half pipe of Tupac rapping. Okay, so ransomware attacks coming at you, food and Aggie. Somebody get Kathy Chambers on the phone. She's becoming very, very niche down on cyber agriculture. This right here is pretty much right in her wheelhouse. This would actually be like a really super great piece of news for her. Is she here? Kathy? No, she's not. If Kathy shows up, please let me know. Okay, guys. You may not think of it as critical infrastructure, but agriculture industry is absolutely 100% critical infrastructure. If you've watched a single, post-apocalyptic dystopian usually zombies type show or movie, it's not the zombies you should be worried about. It's the other humans trying to maintain scarce resources in the face of a new world kind of situation, right? Like Walking Dead, DayZ. Oh my God. I've eliminated people for a can of beans. You know what I'm saying? So food and agriculture is like definitely a serious critical infrastructure that people kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say take for granted, but it's OT, it's industrial control systems, it's farms in the Midwest, big plants. And they're running cyber physical systems that are honestly legacy. And just like any other kind of, big industrial complex, this is expensive, right? If I have a grain, like think about like a grain mill thing where you've got the belt going up and it's like feeding in there. And there's some type of like metering going on, making sure that you're not overfilling the granary, or like you're blending 3 different silos together and you want to make sure that you're keeping the right distribution of each element. You need tech to do that. That tech was built in the 70s, right? And it works great. The problem is it doesn't have security on it. And these ransomware threat actors apparently are, hip to the game, as they are increasing their focus, doubling it in 2025. Now, we're only halfway through 2025, so these metrics might be somewhat skewed. But I got to tell you, if you have been supporting food and agro, and I know that they don't have a lot of money and they don't have a lot of knowledge in the cyber realm, okay? I'm not saying that they're not knowledgeable. I couldn't, like, if the world ends, I'm going to have to, like, become an indentured servant to like a Farmer Brown or something like that, because I literally suck at farming and growing things and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to deliver service into the network so I can get on the agro train and have somebody help feed me. But yeah. So if you work in food and agro, do all the things. You should not be at this point, guys. You should have some basic defenses, protections in place against ransomware, immutable backups, tabletop exercises to ensure that you can recover quickly, good email security policies to prevent malware from coming in or people clicking on stuff, EDR solutions for detonating and quarantining malware before it spreads. And guys, if you're working in food and aggie, you might want to shoot this over to leadership and just say, yo, no specific action to take right now, but just know, the eye of, maybe you don't say this specifically, but the eye of Sauron has turned and is now facing us. We've been able to hide in the noise, but now it's escalating, it's ramping up, and we have a higher likelihood, GRC Mafia, of getting compromised. So, be mindful of that.
Huge thanks to our sponsor.
Also, I'm sorry. I know I'm going long today, so I'm going to speed run the back half of the stories.
ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and to start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO. That is THREATLOCKER.com/CISO.
All right. All right, y'all. Happy Monday. Priceless Pancake, don't forget to like the video. Thank you, Priceless Pancake. Also, don't forget to get the black shirt with the I Heart NIST in white font. There you go. FedEx is saying plain old telephone lines and faxes are still in the agro space. Yeah, if you're interested in a hot minute on aggro, talk to Kathy Chambers. She's like literally becoming an expert in that space. Guys, I want to say thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Antisyphon, ThreatLocker, and thank you to all of you guys. Absolutely love being here. I appreciate the grace in letting me mention the the webinar on Thursday and the Hot Ones Challenge on Friday. No, it's not there yet, Priceless Pancake. I'm just telling you, I didn't forget. Thank you to all of you guys. Busy week last week. Another, busy one this week. I've got a couple projects I'm working on. Don't forget today we've got Simply Defensive with Josh and Wade dropping as always. Super excited. If you did attend the State of Simply Cyber last Friday, I hope you got value from it. As always, guys, I'm all about wanting to deliver value to this community. So, that's it. That's my thing. Okay, guys? Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Mondays is the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week presented by ThreatLocker. Now, ThreatLocker does sponsor this Member of the Week, which means I get to give them a prize, either Amazon gift card or Simply Cyber merch. Roswell UK needs to pick his from last week. But this week, guys, thank you, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker takes a deny by default approach to application security, just like we take a inclusive team approach to community building and cybersecurity. And I'm super pumped for this week's Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Allow me, I don't know if she's in chat right now, but allow me to introduce you to Tasha M. Tasha M. She's a cybersecurity GRC analyst at Clever Compliance, Glendale, California. Got to meet her at RSA. She came by for the Simply Cyber Community Meetup. The reason I want to call attention to Tasha, not only is she great, but also she is like very active on LinkedIn, and she provides interesting insights and value and tries to share some of the values and some of the tactical knowledge that we're doing here every day with her network on LinkedIn. So I definitely see it. I see it all the time. I actually had someone in a meeting the other day mention Tasha to me. So I just wanted to say thank you, Tasha, for all you do. And hey, everybody, welcome. This is your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Tasha, if you can connect with me on Discord or LinkedIn, I would really, really appreciate that. So let's do that. Also as a quick aside, if you can't get me on LinkedIn, please get me on Discord. I have reached my maximum number of connections on LinkedIn, so I can't accept new connections, which totally sucks. But anyways, Tasha M., your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Guys, Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off. Let's get our la-la-las on. Let's go. I'm going to get some coffee and a little swagger over here. So good. All right, guys, we got about 12 minutes to do the back half of the show. I apologize if we cover a story that you're super geeked up about, because we're going to speed run this thing here. Motaz Bella says, just wanted to give you an update on my work since I got the job as a GRC cybersecurity consultant with the help of this channel. I would like to report that I got the ISO 27001 lead implementer cert, a job and a cert. Let's do it in reverse order. Cert, congratulations. And the job, hello. Yes, sir. Congratulations, Motaz Bella. Wonderful news. Thanks for sharing. Super pumped. Go crush it.
UK retailer Harrods suffers cyber attack. The trend in attacking UK retailers seems to be continuing. This time, the upscale London-based department store Harrods has announced that it detected an attempted cyber attack, which is similar to the statements made by fellow retailers Marks & Spencer and Co-op this past week. A Harrods spokesperson said, quote, the IT security team immediately took proactive steps to keep systems safe, end quote, and added that both in-person and online shopping remained unaffected.
All right, like any other business that has both a, and by the way, I've set the podcast to 1.5 speed just to like really get that vibe that we're racing. Any retailer that has both an online presence and a brick and mortar presence, obviously when they're attacked, different parts are, either disrupted or not disrupted. It sounds like their back end, kind of IT systems was compromised. Obviously, their brick and mortar store is fine. They probably outsourced their credit card processing service, likely to have PCI compliance, which is a thing. And, their website may be hosted by some third-party company. The point is, if you work in retail and in the UK, Roswell, UK, definitely an increase in activity around this. They do not say that it's the same threat actor, but, once is whatever, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a trend, right? Again, with this growth in ransomware affiliate models and ransomware as a service, it's going to continue to happen. Customers have reported finding some shelves empty in stores, and workers were told not to turn up at its main warehouse distribution center. Ooh, now that's brutal, right? It's not so much the point of sale services and the cashiers. If you screw up the supply chain in the warehouse logistics, that's where it hurts. Honestly, I could see this victim paying the ransom, right? Luxury department store, I could see them paying. Now it says attempted cyber attack. Attempted? Your systems are down. You're telling staff not to come to work. That doesn't sound like attempted. That sounds like successful. Harrods becomes latest retailer to announce successful cyber attack. That's how I read that. I would almost put the strike through font here. Yeah, whatever, guys. I mean, there's no information here on who the threat actor was or what the current state is, right? So I can't give you much more than, large luxury retailer. It could be Gucci.
Microsoft sets passkeys default for new accounts. This represents a big change that ensures that individuals signing up for new accounts at Microsoft must use passkeys by default, which therefore means passwordless by default. In addition, existing users can visit their account settings to delete their password. Microsoft adds that it has also simplified the sign-in and sign-up user experience by prioritizing passwordless methods. Furthermore, the sign-in process now automatically detects the best available method on a user's account and sets that as the default. Disney Slack.
All right, so passwordless. Yeah, I did an interview for a Harvard Business Review like 2 years ago on where we're going with passwords. And I was like, I had like a big chest beating thing about we're going to passwordless and passwords are a problem. And if Carl doesn't have a password, Carl can't give his password away. If Carl doesn't have a password, then Carl isn't using the same stupid password everywhere. We need to go passwordless. And they never published that article. And I followed up with the reporter like 12 times. I was so pissed. I forgot about it. And now I'm thinking about it and I'm irritable. So Microsoft, one of these, major influences in industry, right? If Google forces MFA, then guess what? Lots of people are going to be using MFA. Microsoft basically making passkeys default, so passwordless, is going to be huge. So I love it. I love it. Now, I use passkey for several things. Honestly, I haven't really wrapped my head around the security of passkeys, right? So it's passwordless, but now you basically just kind of have like a magic key, right? Almost like a certificate in the passkeys. My password vault manager natively handles passkeys, which is why it's been kind of a seamless transition for me. They said you can go in and delete your passwords. I don't think anyone's going to do that, really, right? It's one of those, again, like squeaky wheels. Hey, we're on passkeys now, and then go delete your old password. Why? Like, I can still log on. You may want to consider requiring people in your tenant to use passkeys and then basically use your admin superpowers to delete passwords. Definitely educate your support desk on the passkeys and get, basically initializing a passkey. Here's my one thing. I don't have experience or visibility into like how would a passkey be compromised and how would you revoke it and issue a new one? That's actually an area that, like right now, I can't tell you, and it's something that I want to know. Hold on one second. I got to take a note here. Taking a note. Passkey. Oh my God. You know what? I hate pencils. Mechanical pencils. You're great, but you also suck. All right. Passkey bypass. All right, so here's the plan. I'm going to get wicked smart on passkeys, and then I'm going to make a video on it so other people can learn. All right. Anyways, this is great. We will get more passwordless as we go forward. You can see here, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft. If Facebook or Meta did it, these are apps that, 80% of the population uses. So it'll become more normal, right? Or more commonplace.
Attacker turns out to be Ryan from California. Following up on a story we covered last July in which the Walt Disney Company suffered the theft of more than 1 terabyte of data through its Slack channels, it turns out that the perpetrator was not a Russian hacktivist group, but was instead 25-year-old California resident Ryan Mitchell Kramer. The hack was originally described as retribution against Disney for how it handled artist contracts, the use of AI, and how it treated its consumers. Now, however, according to the Department of Justice, quote, Kramer published a program online that purported to be an AI art generation app, but actually contained malware that gave him remote access to victims' computers. A Disney employee downloaded the program, allowing Kramer to nab login credentials for various accounts in their name, including their Disney Slack account, end quote. Ryan Kramer has agreed to plead guilty to 1 count of accessing a computer and obtaining information, and 1 count of threatening to damage a protected computer, which could lead to 10 years in prison. The government...
Yeah, okay, this is great. So Disney uses Slack, right? Basically a piece of malware got on someone's computer, info stealer type thing, and allowed this guy to log into Disney Slack. Now, because it's Disney, because it's a massive company, it's got to be a nation state threat actor. No, it's a dude who took the 405 to the 4 to the 101 to the PCH, got some tacos, a high five, caught some waves, and then exfilled 1.1 terabytes of data. And I know you California people right now are cringing at how I got the roads incorrect, but just bear with me, okay? Yeah, so unfortunately, fortunately, this guy's going to get 10 years, right? Like, he'll be made an example. But so many people are doing so much bad stuff. Listen, I'm a U.S. citizen. Doing cyber attacks on U.S. businesses is so stupid, right? Like these bulletproof hosting services, these Eastern Europeans, there's, North Korea, there's indictments for these people. They're never going to get arrested because they're, basically not within the scope of U.S. law enforcement. You live in California, bro. Like, you're in San Bernardino. They're going to scoop you up. So, whatever. Also, pro tip. This is a perfect example, right? We said this was going to happen. Well, now it's happening. You cannot allow your workforce to download random crap and install it on their machines. Sometimes you can't stop it. Sometimes you can. Oh, by the way, again, they are a sponsor, but like literally ThreatLocker, would have stopped this essentially because they used deny by default, right? So this random piece of malware would not have run on this guy's machine. Again, I don't know for a fact if ThreatLocker would have caught it, but like that's ThreatLocker's entire like business model. Like that's what they're proposed they do. Okay. Anyways, yep, this guy, you busted. Also, by the way, since his name's Ryan, just as a quick, like completely non sequitur, do you remember that kid on Ryan? He was like a big YouTuber kid star. He's like a teenager now, and his parents still make him do like the kid stuff. I think he doesn't like. I saw some videos on it. Like, I don't think he's happy, but I don't think he has a choice. He's almost like the modern day child TV star, except in like the online streaming age. It's weird. It's a weird case study.
Peru possibly suffers cyber attack. According to researcher Dominic Alvieri, the CISA ransomware gang is claiming responsibility for this breach, which affected the government's official digital platform, gob.pe. The gang is demanding a ransom of 5 Bitcoin and is allowing until May the 9th for payment. It has posted images of documents allegedly stolen in the attack. Other cyber industry sources are not so sure. Researchers at the security firm Comparitech state that Peruvian officials are denying any ransomware attack took place, attributing the disruption to glitches on the government's website. Don't forget to join us this Friday.
Wow, all right. Montepicchu doesn't run ICSOT, so that's safe. All right, hey, Reseda, legit super ransomware group. I would say, like A tier, S tier if you're into the Japanese scene. And they hit Peru. Dude, federal governments, state governments, whatever, state and local municipality governments, they're not that great from a security perspective. South America's got like a hot, escalating, growing hacker community. I don't know if Reseda is in that space, but obviously, Peru is in South America. And guys, this is the reality. They drop a bunch of evidence showing that it's been hit, and they're demanding money. Welcome to 2025. Get your ransomware protections and detections in place. All right, guys, for the sake of time, we're going to run. Let's do this. All right, guys, if you got to go, I saw ZMF had to roll. If you got to go, understood, appreciate it. Otherwise, stay with us. We're going to do some jawjacking. Is this it? No. This isn't it either. Hold on. There we go. All right, guys, we're going to do some jawjacking, which is another show, AMA, 30 minutes. It's basically me, but I'm going to answer all your questions. We'll talk shop, all about good times. If you got to boogie out of here, this was episode 870 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I was your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. I want to say thank you very much to the 400 plus people who showed up this morning. Have a great day. Happy week. And let's roll. I'll see you in a second. See ya. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's cracking, party people? I am your host for Jawjacking, Jerry Guy, coming at you hot and live from the Buffer Auger studio. It is Monday, May 5th, 2025. We got a banger of a week. For the next 30 minutes, I will answer any and all questions that you have. My goal is to help you level up the community. There's 400 plus people in chat right now. Their goal is to help you. We're about support, inclusion, and empowering you to be the best you can be in a cyber career and as an overall person. James Harrold passed the Sec Plus. Let's go, James Harrold. Winning so hard. Guys, I am super pumped. Can't wait. We got a Simply Defensive coming up at 9:30 a.m. Josh Mason, Wade Wells, killing it on season 3. Speaking of Josh Mason and Wade Wells, I teased it earlier in the show, but if you came in late, literally this Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, Josh Mason and Wade Wells, I'm getting a new thumbnail made too, by the way. Josh Mason and Wade Wells and myself will be doing the Hot Ones Challenge, live streaming it. I'll be in my kitchen. I'm going to set up a special studio. We've got 10 different hots. This is season 25. This is season 25 of Hot Ones. Dude, this one right here is 3 million Scoville, which is ridiculous. I don't think I'm going to eat that one. But these are spicy. Spicy. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's go. What kind of questions we got? I'm alone in the studio. I got mods, Justin Gold, Jenny Housley all up in here. So if you got questions, drop them. I will do everything in my power to scoop them up. Here we go. Scole07 says, are CPEs, PDUs, and CUs all related, or are they cert specific? No, they're all the same thing. It's just different cert bodies, different countries use different terminologies, but they're all basically the same. Venzi likes the Buffer Auger flow. Thank you, Venzi. Appreciate that. Let's keep going. Star Trek, Star Wars, which is better? And you must answer. Okay, Roswell, UK. So I'm going to say Star Wars. I was always a Star Wars guy. What Disney did to Star Wars is blasphemy as far as I'm concerned. So I am like, much like the Boston Red Sox, I used to be all in on Boston Red Sox. And after the 2011 chicken and beer situation. I turned my back on them. They can die in a fire. But what Disney did to Star Wars is gross, frankly. Star Trek's been fine. I don't hate on Star Trek. But Star Wars, dude, Luke Skywalker's character drinking that green milk, and what are we doing? Like teasing up Rey's parents, and spoiler alert, Rey's parents, and then just being like, oh yeah, they were just like whoever. Okay. I feel like what Disney did to Star Wars is what those two Davids did to Game of Thrones last season. They just took like a treasured, sacred, community loved and shared thing and just like monetize, like just try to squeeze as much money out of it. Can you take a deeper look into the UK retailers attack happening? They are connected attacks. So, Ataraxia Health and Performance Institute is saying that the Harrods and the Co-op UK attacks are related. I'm not surprised. A lot of times when threat actors find some type of piece of technology or software, think of like the Clop ransomware group and the way that they found the Progress Move It software vulnerability, and they hit like hundreds of organizations from small to large. That's the case. If I had to guess, Ataraxia, I bet you there's some type of software supply chain that retailers in the UK are using that is to blame. All right. Valentino says the bomb is actually worse than the others. Thank you for the pro tip. I'm thinking about using dino nuggets. We got dino nuggets for days in my house. All right, let's go. Bruise and Hack says, not a question. Oh, not a question. You put the Q in front of it to trick me, Bruise and Hacks. I'm going to put together a collection of material on high-level overviews on passkeys to get you started. Thanks, Bruise and Hacks. Bruise and Hacks, if you want. See, this is called networking and taking initiative. Bruise and Hacks has a YouTube channel of the same name. Bruise and Hacks, why don't we collab on the video, and you can come on, we can make a video together for Simply Cyber, but then I can say, oh, and if you like him, come on down to Bruise and Hacks YouTube channel, link in the description. Let me know, Bruise and Hacks. That'd be kind of a fun little collab. Any advice on a path for differ? Jabroni's asking. Joe Tripodi D. Yeah, dude. Path for differ. Go to differdiva.com. Let's take a look at this. Dude, the differ community is super sick. I love the differ community. Go to differdiva.com. Right here. You see this one? Getting into the differ field. This is where I would start. She's got so many free and affordable training, resources. Her name's Elin Wright. She's awesome. Look at all this free and affordable training, bruh. Scholarships. I love what she's doing. So anyways, go to differdiva.com. I don't work in the differ space, Joe, but I guarantee you this is like if my kid came to me and said, Dad, I want to be in differ. What do I do? I would say I can give you some high-level suggestions, but what I would prefer to do is put you directly in touch with the people who are doing that. And I'll say of all the niches in our industry, the differ one has a very strong, tight-knit group, and they like helping people. Go check out Jessica Hyde, Hyde. Also, I've done 2 live streams with her, Joe, and she provided a ton of resources in both. All right. All right, continuing to look at questions or chats. TJ Artist says Game of Thrones got ruined 100%. It's like, to me, Game of Thrones, the TV show, is unwatchable because even though the early stuff was awesome, it's unwatchable because you know eventually you're going to go down to the end of the show, and it's just so unsatisfying. How was fishing and how many fish did Caleb catch? All right, Real Bilbo's being cute here. My son's name is Callan. He knows it's Callan. He just messed it up, so he's leaning into it. Guys, yesterday took the family fishing. So really quickly, this is more of a personal time, but my son recently turned 10 years old. So my son celebrated his birthday. My youngest son, Callan, many of you have met him. He was at Simply CyberCon. And we asked him, we said, Callan, what do you want to do for your birthday? Do you want to rent one of these like arcade tractor trailers that pull up to your house and you're the coolest kid in the neighborhood? Do you want to go to do a party at like a trampoline park? He's like, you know what I'd like to do? I would like to go shark fishing with my family. And we're like, okay. And you know what? We did it. I can't, here, see if I can do this. Can I do this? See if I can do this without doxing his identity. Here we go. There he is. All 10 years of him whipping up probably like a 20-pound sharp-nosed Atlantic. This guy had razor blades in his teeth. Happy birthday. Just fishing for sharks. No big deal. On my 10th birthday, I was like ripping Nintendo games up. So that's what's up. Thank you. He caught 3 sharks yesterday. Angular saying IP gets wrecked when it gets mass produced, of course. Knights of the Seven Kingdom, I'm not familiar with that one, but that sounds cool. House of Dragon was good. Here's my thing. House of Dragon was good. I was watching it, but like they're so slow in releasing new content. Like the Spider-Verse movies with Miles Morales, those are awesome. And like the next one's in 2027 and it like ended on a cliffhanger. So stupid. John says favorite brand of coffee. I like Starbucks. I know it's, whatever, eye roll. I'm sure Mad Destroyer right now just died a little bit saying that, but I like Starbucks, man. Dark roast, French roast. Although I will tell you, Real Bilbo made me some pour over in San Francisco, and it was damn good. All right, continuing to look at chat here. Ataraxia says, anytime a cyber attack, no food on the shelves, it kind of grabs my attention. Yeah. Dude, yeah. Dude, look, I said this last week, guys. Portugal and Spain had like a blackout outage last week, and it took like, in less than 2 hours, people were starting to hoard resources and freak out and stuff like that. Dude, if there's like a massive attack, like, I don't know. I'm not here to like teach you guys how to make bug out bags and stuff, but all I will say is I personally, my family, we have taken precautions to be able to feel comfortable if there is a kind of a breakdown. Let's just put it that way, okay? Why is job attainment in cyber so difficult despite the prevalence of attacks? Kevin Sullivan, great question, buddy. So, Kevin, the problem is, if you think about it for a second, why is getting a job hard in cybersecurity? Well, someone has to fund that job, which means a business has to take money and invest it into a cost center, right? So when we talk about business, there's things that make money, adding new features, rolling out new product, hiring salespeople. That makes money for the business. Hiring a cyber person, that cyber person doesn't make any money for the business. They actually cost money. So that's a cost center. So when you make $100,000 in profit for your business and then you immediately invest it in a cyber person that you, the business, can't see any discernible return on investment, it's a hard sell. So what ends up happening is businesses don't invest in cyber, which means there's fewer jobs in it. Now, you'll hear the stat, there's 3.7 million unfilled jobs. Sure, there is. But the problem is they're looking for people at this skill level and they want to pay this skill level, again, to manage the expense to the business of this cost center. And people with 20 years of experience don't want to go work for this pay because, you know what I mean? So it's a big pain in the A. Also, there's a lot of people looking to get into the industry. Kevin Sullivan, right now, we're dealing with kind of a perfect storm where there's a ton of people trying to get in. There's a reduction in opportunities, reduction in workforce. Some people who already have jobs are getting laid off and stuff like that. So it's a perfect storm. Also, again, hey, I'm just going to share this. You do with it what you want, but it is kind of germane here. I want everyone to know that I told people I would tell people when this came around. I do this live cohort thing. Some of you have been in it. I know Bruce and Hacks was in it. Real Bilbo has been in it twice. I do this live 4-day, 4 hours a day course, and it's called Branding Yourself for a Career in Cyber. But basically, it teaches you how to establish a personal brand and stand out in a sea of sameness, right? So again, I'm not saying you have to do this. Like all the information that's in here, you can get for free from various, fundamentally distinct places. This right here, though, I basically take the week off from work and I focus on doing these 4-hour sessions. And you go from like basically zero to having a fully fleshed out YouTube channel, but you can apply the same lessons learned for LinkedIn or blogs or whatever. And I teach you like how to find content people want, how to find content that gets you excited, how to think about like your worldview on branding yourself and understanding what the meta looks like and how to get people to find you and this is open. Okay. Again, ask somebody who's taken it, do your own research. I'm not trying to sell you on this. I'm just telling you that it's out there now and we are open for enrollment. And the next one probably won't be until September or October. So I'll go ahead and drop a link to that. All right, let's keep going. Johnny V Online says, I have an interview on Wednesday with Meta. Very cool, dude. And the following week, I'm flying to Chi-Town to the CompTIA headquarters to contribute to their new AI Sec cert. Any tips for both? Big next 2 weeks. Yes. So number one, Johnny, I would mention... if you can work it into the conversation at your job interview that you are flying to the headquarters to be a contributor to the AI Sec Plus certification. That's basically going to allow you to demonstrate domain expertise. You're also demonstrating that you're a desirable brain when it comes to AI, right? Help you stand out. With Meta, with the Meta interview, it depends. I assume that it's some type of AI type job interview. If it were me, it really depends on what you're doing, John. But I would get familiar with there's a lot of content out there. I would get familiar with AI. The MIT has an AI risk taxonomy. I made a video about it. I think that could be pretty good to give you a strategic kind of comprehensive overview of security in AI. I actually, Kevin, I actually have a video. Hold on one second. It's so funny. Like this doesn't happen very often, but like not only do I have a video for this, like it actually comes out at 11:45 today. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. I have it premiering today. What the hell? Hold on one second. Maybe you can't see it. Why can't you see it? Did I do this incorrectly? Hold on one second. I'm gonna show you this. Give me 1 second. I gotta go into like my back end. FedEx. Yeah, FedEx. If you go to the PBC alumni channel on the Discord server, there's the alumni discount is in there. Oh, I didn't schedule it for Premiere. That's why. Duh. All right, hold on 1 second. This is going to be so hot. Hold on. Let me do this. I got to schedule this for Premiere. how do I set up the premiere? Okay, I like the sci-fi. Sorry guys that I'm having to do this like live in front of your faces, but here we go. All right, so I just did this. Check it out. Here we go. It's happening. All right, I'm going to keep answering questions. Thank you. 10 minutes until Simply Defensive. Where's this freaking thing? Hold on one second. Basically here. This is G2 Patel. He's basically like the second in charge over at Cisco. I interviewed him like in a long interview at RSA, okay? And Johnny V, the reason that I bring this up is because he talks a lot about agentic AI and like things you should be thinking about in 2025. So the whole reason I bring this up, Johnny, is because I believe if you drop some of these thoughts, sorry, John V, I'm getting John V and Johnny V confused. If you drop these thoughts in the interview, I think it could be good, right? There's a lot of forward-thinking thoughts in this interview, and this interview comes out in just a few hours, okay? I honestly, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I have a video for that very soon. Super cool. By the way, best wishes at the job interview. I hope you crush it, and then I hope you get to decide if you want it or not versus needing to take it. Okay, continuing to look at comments and chat. Rhode Island celebrates Victory Day. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, Tripod. Joe Tripody. Thank you, Joe, for the phonetic spelling. We got Simply Defensive coming up in a minute. Swims with Sharks. Swims with Sharks, who I met at Zero Trust World. Love it. All right. Valentino says Starbucks beans are good. Just make the coffee at home. Yeah, exactly. I make the coffees. Dude, like everything's so expensive right now. It's ridiculous. I went to Starbucks like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago and got a coffee. I got a small coffee. It was like $5.50 or something. I'm like, what are we doing here? All right. Question from Adam Lieb. Thank you, Jenny Housley. Is there an affordable alternative to SANS GCIH that you'd recommend? Yeah, so this is the incident handler one. Yeah, so I mean, if you're talking about certifications, I don't know if there's a comp for certs, but the knowledge you can get from GCIH, I'm pretty sure, like, hold on, Jessica Hyde, Cyber Differ. All right, so Jessica Hyde is a SANS Institute instructor who teaches, well, she does Differ, not incident handling. Yes, you know what I would do? Adam Lieb, this is like brand new. Eric Capuano, training. Hold on one second. So this guy right here, Eric Capuano, he's awesome guy. I love this guy. Him and Whitney Champion are always like together in anything they do. If you want to learn incident handling and incident response, this guy is a phenomenal person to learn from. He is or was a SANS instructor, but he does his own things now, right? And he does threat hunt. There's Whitney. Threat hunting and incident response with Velociraptor, Eric Capuano, Whitney Champion. Now, this is an Antisyphon training, but I want to show you this. So it's obviously wicked affordable. I want to show you this. So you want to be a SOC analyst. Okay, now I haven't checked this out. He just updated this to a pay what you can training, right? Hands-on lab, all of this. And you basically, you could see here, blocking attacks, threat hunting. And guys, when I tell you this is, you're learning from like really, really seasoned blue teamers, that's what I'm saying. So I'll drop a link to this. I love myself some Eric Capuano. All right. And Whitney Champion. All right. Eric and Whitney's training. Who asked that question? Adam Lieb. Adam Lieb. Let me know if this helps, Adam. So again, I'm not really helping you chase a cert. I'm helping you get the knowledge that would be very valuable. Which, guys, again, practical skills are like what people are hiring for. Okay? I would not spend $8,000 on a SAN certification. The only time I would ever get a SAN cert, which I never had one, the only time I would get a SAN cert is if someone was paying for it. That's it. Okay. All right, we got 4 minutes until these two beautiful babies drop knowledge bombs on our head. The Ultimate Guide to Detection and Code and Blue Team Tactics with David French, Season 3, Episode 5, coming up very soon. So Dane Riley says that C2 Lab was fire from Eric Capuano. Yes, exactly, Dane Riley. This actual this course right here is that course, that lab extended and blown out fully. So he took that idea and made it even bigger, better, and more. So yeah, scoop that up. Jabroni, yeah, 100% Jabroni. Joe Trippidy. It just really anything Eric Capuano is great, and Whitney Champion. I'm sorry, Whit. They're both awesome. I'm trying to get them to do their training at Simply CyberCon, which, by the way, as soon as the website, the artwork is done, we're gonna go whole hog. Phil Stafford, do you know how much it costs to run fiber to a deserted island in the South Pacific? Asking for a friend. Yeah, so Adam Roper lived where there was no power after Hurricane Helene. I'm sure people were like losing their mind, right? Bruise and Hack saying nice things about my Pay What You Can course. Personal branding for a career in cyber course. All right, continuing to scrub for comments. We got a couple minutes here. Let me double check. 2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. Where can we watch Simply Defensive? Angela, allow me to hook you up. I'm going to hit the share button. I'm going to click copy, and we're going to raid it alongside Angela. Raid Simply Defensive. Pin it, and then I'm going to say at Angela. Thanks for asking, Angela. Dink. So there's the link. I'm going to go right up until I can't go any longer. We're maximizing the value train. Let's see. Keep on going. What's an appropriate amount of time to give an answer on whether or not you accept a job? If you're waiting for a different offer to come in. Oof. Okay. I would say I wouldn't go longer than 72 hours, frankly. You know what I mean? Really 48 hours is probably appropriate. 72. A lot of times they'll put in the offer letter like a deadline on accepting. You know, at that point, once you get the job offer, I might even reach out to the other job you're waiting on and say, hey, just for situational awareness, I've been offered another job that I'm currently considering. I do need to make a decision within the next 24 hours on this other job offer. I wanted to just query you and see if you wanted to move forward. Like, I'd almost give that other job more of an ultimatum, unless the job you got an offer for you really don't want. But Jerry Guy, possible collab with Josh Madakor. You know, I've tried to reach out with Josh Madakor. He never replies to me. I even subbed to his YouTube channel for a little bit because I did like what he was doing, but never got anything. Seems like a nice guy. He's probably really busy. Continuing to look through chat. We are going to be premiering Simply Defensive in a hot minute. Looks like I'm all up to date on this. Quick FedEx says I recently got an interview on a podcast. One of the things I shared was PBCC. That's right. Dude, I'm telling you. Like, again, this is not a flex. It's just real. You find out about job opportunities in situations when you are out there and people see you contributing and doing things. They're like, oh, this is interesting. Let's engage. Eric Capuano put that thing together. I'm sitting here talking about it because I know it's great. The PBCC course does the same thing. And don't forget, this Thursday, we're going to be doing that live webinar where I'm going to show you how to submit for a CFP. Follow along with me. I'm going to set that lecture up where you can open a browser and follow along with me and submit your own CFP. All right, we're going to go over and raid Simply Defensive. I'm Jerry Guy from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. Be well, and until next time, stay secure. And don't forget, guys, if you can, do check this out. This one, I'm hoping, gets a lot of traction. I think it's a really cool interview. So I guess I'm asking as a favor, if you can particularly check this out. I'll drop a link to it again. Thank you. I actually think the future of AI video is really cool. It's got all sorts of like edits and cuts and stuff like that. All right, let's go raid Simply Defensive.